Tavern at the end of the internet, where we talk about the internet as a community, an industry, and any news that floats through our doors. Come take a seat. My name's Reese.
And my name's James.
And today we're talking about some interesting topics, actually. The first one that really takes me off guard is the lovely girl herself, Belle Delphine.
Oh, again, getting straight into it. Yeah, this is going to be a lowbrow episode, I'm afraid.
I mean, look, I'm totally fine with Belle Delphine, man. Look, she does her. That's cool. And she makes a killing off it.
Yeah, and ironically, despite this being lowbrow, it is actually the industry segment, I guess, if you look at it.
Well, yeah, it really is. She's taken the industry by storm. She's completely revolutionized what could be the adult entertainment industry.
Yep, and as the biggest fan, I think you should take the lead on describing who this lovely lady is.
Absolutely. Belle Delphine is a lovely pink-haired girl who's been going on for just about 2.5 years now in the really sort of adult industry, where she makes light-hearted adult films, which is another way of saying soft porn. She makes stuff that's interesting to the viewers.
What light-hearted adult films?
Well, I don't know about you, but playing with an octopus randomly without showing any genitalia or nipples seems like a pretty light-hearted way to play with it.
No, I just think that light-hearted adult films sounds like a weird way of saying softcore porn, not the other way around.
Okay, she makes softcore porn, and she's, like I said, she's been doing it for 2.5 years. She is fantastic at her craft, and she's built an audience of people who love to support her through her Patreon feed. For anyone who doesn't know who's listening, Patreon is an easy way for people to pay you monthly for the services you provide them. More often than not, it's content creation of any sort, and this really does prove any sort, because she's giving people access for even, I think it was $50, was it? For adult-based nudes or lewds, as she calls them?
So technically it is lewd because Patreon's okay with that, but they won't support any kind of pornography. So technically, it is all lewd. You know,
it's
wink,
not
wink.
It's not porn. It's not pornography. It is lewd photos.
But yeah, so she's always been she's been all over the internet, bunch of memes, the kind of usual stuff. And then I guess she kind of got into, not so much the public eye because she's already there, but she appeared in all this drama when she said she was going to make a Pornhub account. Is this even news? Are we even talking about this
We're talking
goddamn...
about the right thing here. Well,
okay.
Look, we explained who she was, and we're in that part where...
So,
and this is true. She's caused a little bit of stir because she said she created a Pornhub page, which she did.
If she gets 1 million likes on a picture, when that picture's now sitting at just under 2 million likes, she'd make an account. And she did.
And she made some videos, some really, really highbrow videos, you know, the ones that you want to see on a pornography-based website.
Which were a series of double entendre, and that was it. Like,
that's exactly right. And there were a bunch of puns, and as James just said, double entendres, which were insert dirty title here, and then it's her literally doing what the title says, not being dirty. And it's actually annoyed a lot of people.
I didn't know about this, I'll be honest. I kept hearing, but I'm so desensitized to people saying that they're offended or annoyed on the internet that I didn't take it seriously. But yeah, no, she actually got anger in response to this, which is just baffling.
If you want to know something, she's currently sitting, and look, this is purely for research purposes. I don't sit on Pornhub every day, I swear, but I looked into it, and she's currently got an average dislike ratio of 32% on her videos, which means she's got 68% approval, 32% disapproval.
How are you gonna what are you achieving? Because I don't know if that website uses analytics in any regard whether dislike or like matters.
I feel like it's less for the person creating, like analytics for the person, and more for the people browsing, so that they, you know, I don't know. I feel like with people getting mad at her for teasing, you know, their interests, I feel like people who tune into a video that has a less amount of likes on it, or more dislikes, I should say, in that case, wouldn't be as happy when they tune into it. And I feel like that's what's happened here. That's why they do that.
But this is all just, really, if you look at the business of this, it made no sense. Obviously, she wasn't going to make the account. So I never thought she was going to do it. I didn't really know about her at the time, but I knew that all of her kind of money is based on having stuff behind a paywall. If she put stuff free, she would lose the thousands of dollars that she makes monthly by keeping the rest behind a paywall.
I never even thought about that. That's such a good point.
This reminds me of, I think, a few months ago now, maybe over a year ago. PewDiePie did the same thing. He said, if this video gets enough likes, I will delete my channel.
Oh, the 50 million. Yes.
Yeah, and then he deleted one of his, spare accounts, one of his fake accounts from a previous joke. But it was, and people were, quote unquote, annoyed, and, angered. Did anyone actually expect him to delete his, income? His occupation that he's spent years on?
Is that the kind of thing here? Is that the modern day equivalent of a stuntman? It's like a stuntman back in the day would ride a motorcycle within a globe because people would watch it with the intent of seeing him either succeed or fail. They're not going there to see a half-assed performance. They're going to see him there either be really good and be like, wow, I can't believe he did that, or Jesus fuck, he just died.
Yeah, but that wouldn't even be the response. If somebody deleted his channel, the response would be like, oh crap, what do you know?
Yeah, but I feel like
and then people would move on to the next guy. The
whole margin of interest, though, comes down to that whole point of, wow, this guy's been doing YouTube for so long. What happens if he leaves? That kind of thing. And I feel like that's what people really tuned in for. Or just change, change and drama.
If he leaves, it would be nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so
the internet moves on.
Was that whole Belle Delphine thing is old news. But then she's back. She's back with more. Not controversy so much, but just as raw confusion.
She's back with being a very smart businesswoman. And look, I want to just put this out there that I am totally in support of this because I look at her and I think, damn girl, you've got it. You're using it. Well done. I don't see it as any sort of taking advantage of anyone because anyone who chooses to partake in this new business venture of hers, it's on them. And that new business venture of hers for this, lovely softcore porn star is selling her personal bath water.
Yep. It's $30 for a tub. It's called Gamer Girl Water. And I don't know how long it was advertised for. I think in under a week it was first announced, but as of yesterday, it's sold out. $30 a hit. None of this stuff is going towards material costs besides maybe, I guess, a tub of water and the plastic tub.
Just remember, most bathtubs can hold 150 liters of water.
Yeah, no, they look like those little things probably hold 20 mils or something
20,
like that.
30 mils. Maybe let's be liberal here and give them 100 mils.
Yeah. And what really cracks me up is just because everyone's laughing and going, haha, Gamer Girl Water, hilarious. What will these perverts buy next? But it's genius. If it's sold out at $30 a hit, I can't. You could retire on that. Done.
Oh, it's the amount of money I look at that she would have made from this in this one instance is, I reckon, more than I've earned in my entire life. And I'm not even extending the truth there. That is 100%
You're not a gamer girl,
fact.
mate. You gotta raise the game.
Well, that's exactly right. Gamer Boy bathwater. You just wait.
Oh, dude, Gamer Boy bathwater sounds like an infection.
Hang on, I've got my Lynx body spray right here. My whole bedroom smells of it right now because I accidentally used it after finding it after 4 years. My apologies. That's Axe, by the way.
Emptied it in the air.
It's Axe body spray for anybody who is not in New Zealand, England, or Australia.
Is it England as well?
Yeah, England and New Zealand are the only other two that have Lynx instead of Axe.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this product cracks me up. The little disclaimer on the page too says, "Bottled while I was playing in the bath. This really is bath water. Disclaimer: this water is not for drinking and should only be used for sentimental purposes." It's just first off, as far as people on the internet go, you may as well put a big "do not press this button" on the product. And secondly, sentimental purposes.
I am very surprised that there's not a viral video right now of some dude drinking that water.
And I'm not surprised. Do you know why?
Why?
Well, she's probably still shipping them out. Give it a week. Okay, and it's going to be.
We'll give it the week. Next episode, we'll confirm whether that happened or not.
Shipping time. Well, I don't know. If this is actually just ran out of her bathroom, then it is going to take her a long time to sell thousands of tubs of water all around the world, especially water too, because that's kind of sketchy in a lot of places.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. How the fuck do you sell that? You have to seal it.
Yeah, which the tubs don't look sealed. I mean, some countries probably just straight up won't allow it. I know that even traveling just interstate, some places you'll have to pour out any water bottles unless it's like a small enough amount. But maybe she's done the research and it's actually a small enough amount of water.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, just for anybody who is within, let me rephrase that. Within the planet, on any other continent that isn't Australia, we inside our own country have laws regarding fruit crossing borders due to fruit flies and other sort of invasive animals.
But this isn't like you're traveling to New Jersey. We're talking Australia, where majority of the states are plants and bushes and stuff.
Yeah, of course. But still, what I'm trying to say is that like we're stringent here about that. Like I could only imagine some other places where waterborne viruses or diseases could live,
or just countries that have really strict immigration laws, not immigration laws, but like maybe Russia's saying, what if Vladimir Putin steals all your Gamer Girl water? You're done.
Shit.
Like what are you gonna do? He's gonna steal all of it.
Oh, I'm looking at you here, Jean-Claude. I know that you've got it, man.
What, the Gamer Girl water? He's gonna get stolen.
Damn it! Hide it, man. Hide it. Vladimir loves it. I'm no longer welcome in Russia.
We're gonna wait for the future where there's gonna be like underground Gamer Girl water smuggling.
Oh my god. I just can't imagine.
Can you imagine that?
The problem there would come down to like nothing else other than quite literally people are being kidnapped, not so they can be sold or ransomed or auctioned for sex slaves or anything. They just put into water and it's like play the Xbox whilst you're in the water and it's like
That is very morbid.
I mean,
why is Russia's import now Gamer Girl water?
It linked on from your comment about Gamer Girl export being illegal and Russia was the previous comment.
And at first I was saying they're denying it from coming in the country, and next thing you know, it's their main export. How the times have changed. But like, it's funny. I think it's because Russia actually did. Oh man, is it Russia? Maybe it's not. I think I'm filling in blanks there, but. There was a company that was actually selling vodka poured off supermodels. Like that was their shtick.
Wait, poured off what? Sorry,
supermodels. Like they poured off their breasts and stuff.
Oh my god,
this is old too. I don't remember if it's. I don't even know if it's still going yet. It's called G Spirit vodka. It was literally just vodka poured off women back into the bottle. It's been marketed before, and I guess it was fine then. I don't know if anyone bought it. I don't know if it was a success. I mean,
Jesus.
I can't imagine how bad that would be for your skin, though.
That
pouring vodka off it.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like the way that alcohol works in general is it cleanses things because it kills everything.
Not vodka though. That'll dry out your skin.
Oh, well then.
Yeah,
it might kill all the viruses and also take you down. It's like a lesser.
Like you can literally
apply.
You can apply vodka to like blisters and stuff to dry it out.
Oh. All right. Well,
not that Belle Delphine's going to have this problem. She's just going to get all pruned up or something. I don't know. And sell a game of prune water, prune juice.
You want the sweat between my pruny fingers?
And she probably could still sell it.
She probably could. That's not a.
She should honestly patent this stuff.
I'm surprised. Look, I'll be honest with you. The way that, because look, everybody who's listening as well, Belle Delphine is extremely successful, not because of that, but also because of her Patreon, like I mentioned before. And when I say extremely successful, the minimum, and I say the minimum she could be making is just over $3,400 a month.
Oh, yeah, not including Patreon's cut, which isn't high, but yeah, for sure, it's more than that.
Well, like I said, the liberal thing before. Let's say 3,000. What do you reckon? 3,000? You reckon that's a fair assumption?
Minimum.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Minimum wise. So let's just say 3,000.
Oh, sure, 3,000. If she's making 3,000 from that, though, I'll eat my foot. She's going to be making pushing 10 every month minimum.
And the reason why we say that is purely because there is an actual tier on this Patreon website that she holds. That made me sound such like a boomer. This Patreon website. Ooh. On Patreon.
It's from that internet.
I don't want it. She has a tier on there. You can pay different amounts of money a month, and one of them is $2,500 a month, which she lets you do anything that you ask her.
No, okay, hold up.
Okay, that's
she's like, you can request anything.
That is true. That is true. It is a request. It is not a demand. But money makes people do anything, really.
Yeah, but that's pretty common with Patreon too. There's no harm in having a tier that's at the highest rank just to see, just in case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, $50 a month though on that same Patreon gets you access to her private Snapchat.
Yeah,
which,
but Patreon's usually pretty they're happy to let.
Well, it's a completely unrelated social media network. If you say to somebody, I'll let you in my front door if you give me $50 in my driveway. Like, the front door's not going to stay shut because you did that. If you give them the key or you unlock it for them, they're going to get in regardless.
The big house that is Snap.
The big house that is Snapchat.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, Playboy could have a Patreon where it goes, if you give us $7 a month, we'll send you a magazine.
Isn't that how subscriptions work?
Yeah, but then they can say to Patreon, "Oh, we're not selling anything raunchy. This is just a magazine."
Yeah,
TM.
It's the same thing with Snapchat. They turn around and they say, "No, I'm not selling my Snapchat. It's just a perk of my. If you buy access, or if you pay enough to have access to it, that's on you. That's not. I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
I'm not selling that.
I wonder
that's
why
just a
they
perk.
haven't. Why Snapchat hasn't lent into that yet?
Actually, something that would really surprise me is if you turned around and because Snapchat's one of the only apps that doesn't let you it does let you upload anything that isn't from the camera as long as it's in your phone's library. However, it tells you if it was in the phone's library prior to you seeing it, and that always makes me wonder, what if Belle was just doing something random, but what if there's a bunch of actors that were looking like Belle? Could you imagine that? If Belle Delphine was an actual company and there was just a bunch of dudes what? No, girls that wore pink wigs and did that?
That would, I think, be more effort than is already being put in. This doesn't appear to be circumnavigating it so much as making more trouble for yourself.
Actually, you know what? Something else that's very funny.
But I get what you mean. I think that little thing is saying, "Oh, this has been uploaded from the gallery," or "This has been," but all of her stuff is heavily edited. So
she's.
I think all of her stuff would say that anyway.
I love my color graded porn.
I love nothing gets me diamonds like some pastel pink.
Oh man, Belle just can't wait to see her plastered on the face of someone random, with deep nudes.
Sorry, well, one day I won't laugh at your segues.
Hey, look, if I can coin one thing for this podcast, is my fucking jarring segues.
No, I mean, because previously you just said you may as well have just screeched segue, but this time your segue literally involves saying, "I can't wait to see some porn," and that's somehow worse. Okay, so a few years ago now, Deepfakes was launched. This is old news. Basically, really, really tacky editing of people's faces just being edited onto, a porn model or whatever. And people have done it for jokes as well.
Look, this is going to sound... I definitely was not underage when I was doing this, but when I was in high school, I remember seeing, Emma Watson porn and shit like that.
Yeah, so... And that's the crazy thing about Deep Nude, because Deep Nude isn't Deepfakes. Deepfakes is the video one. Deep Nude is a new one that people lose their minds about, but it's just photos.
It's exactly
that's existed for ages. It's called Photoshop. I don't know why people are so so baffled about this.
I think the reason they're baffled by it is because you don't need to know how to do it on Photoshop. I think that's actually
apparently
the big scary part.
It takes something like 30 minutes or something for the app or whatever program to
And look, it's
chunk something out.
Because I look at this realistically. Look, I like to think that I'm decent at Photoshop, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Where you look at something and you're like,
no, I'm absolute trash at Photoshop. That's one that I've actually been reluctant to learn.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll be honest. Oh man, you can't bind single buttons to certain commands, and that is just arbitrary. Yeah, because all of my software, all my programs, including other Adobe stuff, you can press. I have R, the letter R, bound to undo.
That's actually a really cool idea. I never knew about that.
Yeah, so my hand pretty much stays in that constant kind of gamer formation, the WASD QER, right? And all of my software I have that where I'm editing, except Photoshop will not allow me. It says, no, you have to, if you want to bind something, it has to be Control R, Shift R, or like F1R. Why? And I put out a tweet ages ago saying, man, this Photoshop, you make me see death or whatever.
Hey, you know what? I think they
responded.
Heard you. I think they heard you.
Yeah, they responded. They sent a tweet back at me and they said, oh, what's the problem?
I was just taking the piss. Sorry, continue what you were saying.
No, they responded. They said, what's the problem? I said this. And they went, oh. And then I didn't hear back from them.
They probably went, you know what they did? They released the 2019 upgrade and they were like, Control Z now. Control Z's everything. You don't need to use Control Alt Z anymore.
Oh my God. Well, that was before. Yeah, that used to just also blow my mind. But back then I use a software called Paint Tool Sci that is mainly for drawing than actual photo manipulation. And I'm using Photoshop again now, but arbitrary limitations. Jesus.
But like the reason why I brought up like the sort of thing about like being decent at Photoshop is being decent.
Sorry, before I completely derailed my rant.
That's totally fine. No. Like the reason why I say that being decent at Photoshop is because being decent at Photoshop is being able to use the tools to make an image not seem jarring. You're not copying and pasting in MS Paint. You're using blur. You're using other sort of layer manipulation that allows images to appear like a whole image, not some sort of bullshit copy and paste thing. And that's why I say that, because I honestly...
Which, for reference, has existed since forever. Since forever, since, 10, 20 years, however long Photoshop's been around
That's exactly right. Like, it's been around for a while. It's just being able to teach people, and, YouTube hasn't been around for that long where you could learn it easily and for free, for that matter. And saying that, that's what really brought me up when I realized that, because I honestly could not put somebody's face on somebody else's body well enough, yet I can put images aside and make them blur into one image that looks like a bed sheet. And, easily, but I cannot make bodies look like somebody else's. And yet there's an app that lets you do that for free. And it's that easy. Like that, it just boggles my mind.
I assumed it was, but I assumed it was free. I don't know.
There's actually two levels of it. So there's free, and then there's a $50 pay.
Oh, yeah. The free one has like a watermark on it.
Yeah, it's covered in the watermark. It's basically, so it's like, if you use our free app, you can, look at it, be real enjoyed when you look at it, and then you have to remember us. Well,
and to be fair, I think that shouldn't deter most people, because if you look at something like that, you could probably tell instantly, yes, that's fake or not. I guess some people, not everyone can figure that out. And like as the creator said, this was going to get made eventually. It's almost as if the people that made Deepfake stepped past this. They went to the next level without even addressing this, and the Deep Nude dude just ducked in.
Yeah.
God knows how much money he's going to make off this, though.
I just realized Deep Nudes is literally the embodiment of Rule 34. It's like for anything that you can imagine, there's porn of it. What about
Can I put a toaster through Deep Nude and get toaster porn, though?
Oh, I love toasters with vulvas. Which actually, that was revealed. So when I say
revealed.
It was revealed.
Only if you pay the toaster $50 first.
That's right, and then you get it for access forever. And then you can download it on any device you have and use it again and look at that lovely toaster. But the deepfake / deep nude algorithm, which is a really interesting thing. The way that it works when it identifies a body, it works very well. Oh, I hear the Tavern's giving out cans again. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I know. We'll get the budget up one day.
Oh my God, Jesus. We need to be able to buy those actual schooners. Or pints, for that matter, because we're in an old-timey tavern. They only have pints. When the deepfake / deep nude algorithm...
of port.
when it does its thing to make the body or the face become whatever it is, it actually works much better on women than it does anything men or otherwise, because there are so many different women online that are easy to find.
Hold up, that was the excuse that the creator gave. He said that it is easier to obtain naked pictures of women online than males. I call bullshit on that, for sure.
I want to honestly feel like that is bullshit, and I want to believe that. I really, really do. But at the same time, I can totally believe it because, like, I think of anything. We were talking about Belle Delphine, right? And she has, I can't remember what the amount was, but there's very few nudes of her live. And if you were to find
that aren't behind a paywall.
Yeah, that's right. That people have actually leaked and then got banned and whatever the hell the consequences they suffered for that move. But when I look at
the consequences they suffered from breaking the pact.
Breaking their pay pact. The way I look at that is that it's just sort of like, I'd believe it, but at the same time, like, how many times have you ever been tricked into, and I'm not going to go into detail here because I don't want to, but, you know, going onto a shock site that involved men. You know, there's clearly...
Never. What, are you talking about like Lemon Party?
Yeah, that sort of shit. Like 2 men, 1 fish, that sort of stuff. Also, never, please, everybody who's listening, do not look up what we just said.
I would actually go as far as to say 0 times, and not so much tricked. It's one of those ones where it's like, okay, click on this link, it sucks, and as a kid, you're like, why does it suck so bad? And you click it, and you're like, wow, that sucks. I guess back to the whole, like, don't press this button kind of situation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's actually, wow, yeah, links all back to that. But yeah, so... that's the kind of thing I see there, where it's this sort of men are harder to make. Or you could just look at it like the dude who made Deep Nude is a fucking pervert, and he's just like, I like girls. Let's have more girls.
Oh, that's gotta be it. I gotta assume that wherever they're sourcing their stuff from is far more oriented about females. Because think about it this way: a algorithm like this would benefit from matching. I forget what algorithm they're using. It already existed. It's called like Pix something. I forget.
It's the one that self-driving cars use.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God, my Tesla can make nudes of me now?
That's exactly right.
What a time to be alive.
You could literally commit suicide by jumping in front of a car and then they'll make nudes out of you.
What an insult to injury. You get ran down by Elon Musk and next thing you know he's tweeting pictures of your like nude body. A true dystopian future. Anyway,
Cyberpunk 2020.
Yeah. So these programs would obviously benefit from finding a picture of a body that matches you best. And the difference is that I think with like females in porn is that usually it's better produced. There's gonna be one female, a lot of images from them. But from guys, like one chick goes on Twitter and says, "I've now got open DMs." She's suddenly got a catalog of like naked dude pictures she can fucking source. You know, dudes are very like fucking fast and loose with the old dick pic. Maybe dudes don't share the faces much. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh wow! That actually makes so much sense. Where it's just that whole. Actually, all right. So, this is currently at this point in time on the 4th of July, 2019. As I say this, the bottle cap challenge is relevant, and I've already seen a meme of some dude kicking a bottle cap, and then as he moves around, he shows his ass as he does it. Like, there's already dudes.
That is quality content. You can't argue that.
Like, there's already just completely public images that are being shared virally of just other random dude's ass. And this guy was not a well-toned man at all. So if you, for some reason, deep nuded another man, there's no reason other than, you know, the creator's bias to seeing naked women, than being the reason he wouldn't put women on there. And I say bias slightly. That's just me taking the piss.
Apparently he's using somebody else's algorithm, apparently. So maybe it's that guy, but...
Well, I just want to know how different the algorithm is to map tits to tits than it is to map, you know, faces to faces.
Yeah. But it's like... This kind of stuff is just... Especially when... My brain stopped working. Especially when talking about the fact that he wasn't directly the one that created the algorithm. I really wonder where we're going to see the law in regards to this, because obviously we already have laws in regards to revenge porn and defamation, right?
Yeah.
At what point is the person who's clicking go on the app, at what point are they liable to these crimes, and what point is the actual creator of Deep Nude? You know, kind of like how a torrent website is technically legal to exist because they're not committing any crimes by being a torrent.
Peer-to-peer
software.
Sharing is not illegal.
Exactly, and it's what people do with them. You know, just kind of like how Holden isn't accountable for a crime if you run somebody down, right?
Exactly right,
I wonder at what point.
Also, for anybody
where
listening, Holden is a car company in Australia.
Oh my god, stop getting so close to your mic. I felt that one in my bloody sinuses. Yes. Yes, Holden is a car company in Australia. There's Holdens around the world as well.
It's GMC anywhere that isn't Australia.
Just because they produce them as cars doesn't mean we can't put them on boats. Other countries have Holdens. It's okay.
No, sorry, they're Opel now. What are you talking about?
Wait, are they actually?
Yeah, legit. Any car that, so the Australian-made Holden Commodore was sent around the world and then rebadged as either a Chevy or a GMC. And any car that we got that is like a Holden Astra, even like the car I drive, a Holden Cruise, they're all the European-made Holdens, which are under the guise of Opel, and they're actually accepting the Opel European company badge now. So in America, they're all GM or GMC for General Motors. However, now everywhere around the world is accepting Opel, the European car company, as Opel, rather than trying to rebadge it as their equivalent of the Holden franchise in their country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, random little bit of cars that I actually was really obsessed with when I was 6. Yeah.
That's surprisingly irrelevant to the internet, but the more you know.
The more you know. There you go. So if you're driving a GM, just remember that our fucking Commodores could run you down, boy. Wait, mate, just because I got a 46 VL doesn't change the fact that your car's shit, okay, mate?
Man, I would love to chime in, but I'm rocking that Nissan Polestar Life.
Look, I'm driving a Holden Cruise, which means I'm driving fully sick European craftsmanship, which means it's going to cost me $5,000 to get a fucking a bolt on my car repaired because they've got to get sent from the EU.
Oh yeah, that's the benefit of a Nissan. Instead, there's just parts everywhere.
Yeah, I know Nissans are great. I love Nissans.
The amount of car knowledge I have, my Nissan Pulsar, the build is called a Nissan Pulsar Solaire.
Wait, are you driving a Solaire?
Yeah, Nissan Pulsar Solaire, yeah.
Oh, shit.
You've seen my car.
No, I just didn't realize it was an actual Solaire. I didn't read the back of your car.
Yeah, it's got a splash across the back. Yeah, half the reason I was keen on this car is because I like Dark Souls. I've got I've got the little son of a Astoria on my keychain and everything. I was like, oh yes,
that makes
gamer
sense.
car.
Dude, the Solaire was legitimately a good car, and it still is.
I'll have you know, car of the year 1995. Thank you very much. I haven't got a cup holder.
Look, man, it had air conditioning, and the top models had electric windows.
Mine doesn't. My thing barely has a working engine. Sounds so, there's that.
Sounds like the first owner was a fucking cop-out.
I mean, it goes vroom, and it has 4 wheels, so I think I'm ahead.
Mine's got 3.5 wheels. I love it.
Yeah, no, I did say that. Now, speaking of money, cop-outs, and 3.5 wheels. What about that Keemstar lad? And I actually say that with not disgust so much, but as a deep regret. The fact that we're even talking about Keemstar, I'll be honest.
You know what? I feel like he often would run on 3.5 wheels. He's the kind of person
I think you're being generous giving him 3.5.
Yeah, I actually feel like 3.5 is the best you get from the most, epic critics out of 10. Keemstar is an absolute fucking shit person that, unfortunately, because of his success and people's unwillingness to critique him on it, is still successful.
Oh, yeah. No. Definitely not that. Willingness to critique is definitely nothing he is lacking. People absolutely despise this man. And he has critique in truckloads from everyone.
I feel like critique, when I say that, I meant more in the regard of the people that allow him to do it, sort of like YouTube. Because I guess,
yes, look, surprisingly,
when I sort of put it like that, and I look at
sorry, and yet again, just to fill anyone that doesn't know who Keemstar is, bloke by the name Daniel Keem, creator on YouTube for the past, we're talking 8-9 years or something like that, one of the OGs.
Yeah, 2009, so nearly 10 years, actually.
Christ. So, a creator who started off with gaming, now just commentates on drama, which sounds, in theory, fine. I mean, commentating on drama is half of what this show is, but... he is a toxic person and does terrible, terrible things. And that's kind of where the fact that his channel has still survived and his popularity has still survived is just baffling.
You're not exactly wrong there because I think, how many was it? It's about seven YouTube channels he's had that have been, like, what's the term? Like, just eliminated?
Yeah, okay, but that's because you can't, if you have a channel that gets banned, you can't open a new one.
That's exactly right.
So if, like, let's say you create a channel, say something offensive, you can't then just tweet, okay, that channel's dead, over to the next one, boys, and then hop to another one. You need to, like, that person gets banned, who he was banned. They managed to dodge that by Keem saying, I'm not the owner of Drama Alert, I work for them.
Yep.
That is why it's not my channel. And that's kind of how he's avoided being banned, despite the fact the channel is obviously his in every regard.
Including the Drama Alert Twitter, which he posts on and gives no opinions because...
No, the Drama Alert Twitter, doesn't that just retweet episodes that have been uploaded?
Yeah, pretty much. The only actual active account is Keem.
Yeah, so like at the end of the Drama Alert episodes, they just say, follow Keemstar on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, because following anybody else is completely irrelevant because, the owners of Drama Alert do nothing if they're the owners.
I don't think the owners of Drama Alert exist. I think they are just Keemstar again.
Look, it's so obviously Keemstar. It almost feels insulting when he's like, Drama Alert is an entity and they employ me because they liked that I was a commentator or whatever. Let's get right into the fucking lies.
Right into the news. But we're talking about Keem because of this exact thing. The fact that YouTube is aware that he shouldn't have a channel and they let it slide. And recently, off the back of he's just had controversy after controversy, he's now hosting what they're calling, Minecraft Mondays, Fortnite Fridays. I mean, he's probably just hasn't got the other days yet because he hasn't thought of good enough alliteration.
Yeah, you just got to alliterate it and then you'll get it.
What do we got? Tuesday.
You have what's that? Tetris Tuesday.
Well, that's a good one. They got
what's Wednesday?
Wednesday.
You could have Jesus, I can't think of any games.
The channel just collapses because we got no idea of a video game that starts with W. Warcraft Wednesdays. That's back.
Warcraft Wednesday. Yes, that's actually almost doable too.
And we're back to TH with Thursday.
Spyro.
Let's play some Thoverwatch, boys.
Thoverwatch with some Spyro cosplay.
Thoverwatch Thursdays with Theme Star.
I could almost see.
So anyway, and it's just so he's constantly been not an outcast. He's been embraced constantly, despite. I mean, we're talking about doxing is one of the things that he's done, which is where you publicly leak somebody's address, leading to people getting swatted and... God, I'm going to have to explain every acronym. I assume most people know what swatting is, but that's where swatting is not an acronym. Swatting is where you call a bomb threat or a hostage situation in on a location, and the local law enforcement has to actually act on that.
Yeah, it's too risky to not act on it.
Yeah, and they have to go. People have literally died because... armed policemen and SWAT officers have gone in and accidentally killed people because they believe it to be a hostage situation. He's done this intentionally, knowing he personally doesn't call it in, but he leaks these addresses knowing that this is what's going to happen. He wields his community like a sword. So people have talked about the things he's done, the cancelling of Keem before. The reason it's kind of back, the reason that people are not so much confused, but just, I guess, tired of it, is that there are so many people that are coming to him for this Minecraft and this Fortnite. We're talking PewDiePie, James Charles, all of the largest creators on the platform.
Massive creators, though. Just so people know, PewDiePie is currently the most subscribed individual creator on YouTube. He is the biggest and possibly one of the most powerful influencers on the internet.
And it's no doubt that he doesn't like Keem.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that there's been multiple instances when he has a segment in one of his videos called Pew News. Actually, it's an entire video a week that is given to this, where he does reviews or at least analytics on different sort of news or drama in the workplace on YouTube.
But it's a pure parody of drama.
100% a parody on...
Even to the opening, yeah.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that you've got the largest creator on the platform who obviously doesn't like Keem. I mean, I'm not putting words into his mouth. But I'm fairly positive because every large YouTuber who has faced some kind of drama is used to Keem jumping onto the back of it, trying to milk it for views. But next thing you know, he's bending the knee to be a part of this. Felix doesn't need more subs, right? I don't think that's his goal behind joining the Minecraft and the Fortnite and stuff.
At 97 million, it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, right. And James Charles as well. You got to assume that his first priority wouldn't be that. Yet they're still cooperating with a guy whose career is to try and bring down people like their own careers, And it's just bizarre that somebody would have that kind of power over such incredibly influential creators.
It makes me wonder if the reason they're doing that isn't because they're trying their best to not be a part of him, but if they reckon that let me rephrase it. If they're doing it for fun, like they're so big now that they can do what they want.
Oh, for sure. Like like an element of it would be that straight up FOMO, where you're looking at all of your mates playing this game. You're like, okay, cool. I want to be a part of it. And I guess just nobody else has raised their hand saying that I'll host this. I know that a lot of YouTubers have actually turned down the offer purely due to Keemstar's participation.
Oh, dude,
which I commend.
If like PewDiePie was a pity select, it's like the last selection at school.
Oh no way! Keem cares nothing but about analytics. Keemstar would have been picking PewDiePie and Ninja and Tfue. These kind of people are at the very top. And everyone else is just filler. And not to like put them down. I mean, these are all like huge content creators, but like that is his priority every time.
Oh, it boosts his name. If you put, let me phrase that. If you put something positive, or at least I'm working with X, Y, and Z creator, being Tfue, Ninja, PewDiePie, James Charles, any of those people, could you imagine the amount of attention it brings to you in a positive light? Like it makes total sense.
I don't think at this point, yeah, but I'd say the positive light's a good like kind of perspective of this, because at this point it's not about getting your brand out there. Everyone already knows who Keem is. It's not about gaining subs, because at a certain point subs don't matter when you're in YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
It's just about protection. If you work with PewDiePie, you hope that he's not going to turn around and stab you, right? And somehow that's how he's still alive. Like he's just created this barrier of people that detest him but use him for views. It's just baffling.
It's kind of funny because that's almost like a reverse Unocard there, isn't it? Like you use me for views, and Keemstar's like, I use you for views for drama, and they're like, I use you for views. You didn't expect this coming, did you? Zawadador. Like,
yeah, except the only person winning here is
what's Keem?
Yeah,
Keem wins, and I fucking hate it because like,
and he'll backstab instantly as well. So like, then again, I don't think he expects any loyalty out of people like PewDiePie just due to their size, but it's baffling that they still go along with it. I guess there's no other content creator who's willing to put in that kind of time to produce these kind of events, but the fact that they're still going along with it is just baffling.
I would really love to know Keemstar's sort of perspective on this. Like, if I could ever get, let me phrase that, I hope one day I get big enough that I could converse with Keemstar one-on-one. I'd love that, because I'd love to sit down with this dude. I've actually...
it's easy to converse with him. You just have to compliment him over Twitter.
Yeah, well,
if you insult him, he'll ignore and block you, but if you compliment him, he'll be chatting to you in no time.
No, actually, like, have a chance to talk to this guy. Like, one-on-one. I've even said this about...
Have you heard him over the Baited podcast?
Baited's dead, man. Views, like, Chad confirmed that.
That was one of the things that Keem recently said, that he's going to pick the Baited podcast back up.
Shit, sounds like we need to get on that. Day.
Yeah, but his co-hosts don't agree, so it's obviously not going anywhere.
Co-hosts, the one podcast
is
hosted by one man.
Yeah.
No, but like, I've said this before. It's like the people I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with, one-on-one, not recorded, just me and them. Would people like Keemstar, even Tony Abbott to an extent, which is the former Prime Minister of Australia. No, it sounds
What do
fucking
you
weird.
have to gain from talking to the former Prime Minister of Australia?
Because I'd love to know why the fuck he says what he says. In an all seriousness, no fucking lies event, I would love to know why they say what they say.
Yeah, now if that was the case, these people you wouldn't want to do that. Like, if these people were so open with their opinions and truthfully, then you wouldn't want to interview. People like Keem, have you seen him in interviews where people actually confront him? He spurgs out. He next thing you know, he's screeching, "Man, if it wasn't for me hosting you on my channel, then you'd be nothing. You owe everything to me." It's like, great. This guy's a lunatic. He's an undeniable lunatic.
I guess when I say that, I don't mean that as in like this is a completely fucking like positive look at it, and everything that's occurring is really positive, and there's literally no recording, so nobody hears it other than memory of what we say to each other. That's the kind of thing I'm going for.
And you know what? I don't think he sees a single bad thing about what he's done. There's no way.
And you know, that's why I say what I say, because I'd love to know that to myself and being able to tell other people off my own memory. So it's not 100% confirmed. It's only what I know. But I would love to know that. And that's only why I say what I do. Because it's what I want to know.
I bet my bottom dollar that if you talk to him, you would get exactly what you see over his Twitter. You would see, self-adoring, self-promoting, completely infallible Keemstar, where he's just like, I did what I did because the fans. I gotta do it for the fans, man. I don't think I wouldn't expect the camera to turn off and him suddenly be like, I hate my life.
No, look,
every video I make is chore.
Wouldn't you love to know a genuine perspective on these people? Like, is that
sure, a bit of like a truth serum or some kind of
I'd love to hear that kind of shit. And I mean, I guess, look, I'm saying this. The reason why I say Keemstar and like Tony Abbott and shit like that, these are the people that
are two really weird people to compare to each other.
In an extent, the reason why I confirm them is because to me, they're so enigmatic. I don't know anything about them, and the only thing I know about them is bad. That's why I'd love to meet them and be able to be like, hey, what happened when you loved the onions? Why did you eat the onion? Like,
man, who doesn't want to eat an onion?
Look, I'll be honest with you. When I cook onions, I eat them raw.
He's a healthy dude. He was like it's a red onion. You can eat red onions. This is going to be completely lost on anyone outside of Australia.
Look, for anybody who is outside of Australia, Tony Abbott was an ex-prime minister who was ousted by one of his own internal party members. Regardless of who that was, he was a prime minister in Australia, and he lasted, how many years was it? 2 or 3?
Oh, wait, 20 seconds as far as I'm concerned. That generation of Australian politics is...
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, Tony Abbott ate an onion. That was about as far as that story went.
Whilst he was prime minister, mind you, he ate a raw onion in front of just random pedestrians.
Well, why aren't prime ministers allowed to eat onions?
They're not allowed to. It's just more a matter of that's
shadow
why
minister,
it matters
and he's like, time to consume the onions.
No, well, the reason why I say it's because he was prime minister is because, like, who the fuck is currently like videoing Malcolm Turnbull, like, who is also an ex-prime minister? Like, who is currently videoing him, or even Tony Abbott for that matter, who's an ex-one? Nobody does. The only reason why it matters is because he was videoed.
Who knows how many onions he's eating when he's not being watched over.
Could you imagine challenging Tony Abbott to an onion off? Like, come on, let's
just
go.
How many onions he can eat?
Who could just tough it out and beat him at an onion off?
He's not Shrek. He just enjoys the occasional... Anyway.
That's still a point, though. Who could beat him at an onion off?
Man, not only is Happy Hour finished, they're telling us to get the hell out.
Oh, shit, they are too. Oh, my God. Oh, great, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast this week. We really appreciate it. Look, James, you're probably better at this. Where can I find you?
YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all that kind of stuff at Nurchin, Nurchin. And Reese, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter under @RealNetwinder. Netwinder spelled NETWINDER. Or on YouTube or Instagram under Netwinder, which I just spelled.
And we do sincerely apologise for this episode. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.